Good evening, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, friends, colleagues, Hatice. I think the last prize this evening, yes, the prize for courage. By courage, we are celebrating a virtue, something that is acquired. Courage is not innate, it's not inherent. We are not born courageous. We become courageous, or some of us do, because of circumstances and as a chosen path. Some of us make the choice to be courageous, where many others may choose to turn away, turn around, look away, ignore, or stay silent. Jamal Khashoggi, the unassuming, polite, kind, and curious journalist, he chose to be courageous. A well-respected journalist and intellectual in his home country, Saudi Arabia, very close at some point to the Saudi administration and to the Saudi court. He was not forced to become courageous. He actively chose to be courageous. In 2013, he followed the Arab Spring, the revolt of Arab populations against autocrat dictators, corruption, injustice. When confronted with another wave of personal attacks, the cancellation of his column in Saudi newspaper Al Hayat, he was banned from writing, appearing on television, and attending conferences. In 2017, he said that's enough. He chose to leave, not to run, because he believed he could no longer be silent, as he explained in his first piece for the Washington Post. Some choose to be courageous, to risk dangers and face suffering. Jamal Khashoggi did just that. In leaving, he lost his wife, who was forced to divorce him. He lost access to his children, some of whom were subjected to travel ban. Many in his family and friendship network turned their back on him. He lost status, he lost income, he lost security. In exile, he experienced deep, deep loneliness and sadness. And still, he turned down many invitations to return to Saudi Arabia. He refused the money that was offered to him, the job offers, the promises of high status. Instead, he chose to speak and write and demand and stand. He chose to be courageous where many others had chosen to turn away, turn around, look away, stay silent. Jamal Khashoggi dared dreaming the dream of dignity for his people, for his country, for his region. He dreamed a platform for Arab voices, the creation of an independent international forum, isolated from the influence of nationalist government, spreading hate through propaganda. With his newly found friends, he planned new projects to counter that propaganda online and offline. He imagined means to expand democracy in the Middle East. Philosophers tell us that true courage is put to the service of others without selfish interest, that true courage is guided by justice. To be courageous truly is to do what is right. Jamal, the unassuming, polite, kind journalist, chose to be courageous. He chose justice over his personal interest. He chose democracy and freedom for the people of the Middle East over its status and security. And for that, he became one of those whom the Saudi regime sought to silence, On October 2nd, he was murdered. He was lured to the Saudi Arabia consulate on false pretense, alone, on his own, with his pen, with his kindness, with his politeness. He was confronted by Saudi men, part of a team of 15. They strangled him, they asphyxiated him, they dismembered him, they disposed of his body, a killing for which the state of Saudi Arabia is responsible. This is a price for Jamal's courage. Understanding what's right and not doing so, that is the opposite of courage. That we have also seen too much of it in the aftermath of Jamal Khashoggi's killing. By celebrating his courage, we are also denouncing its very opposite. We reject the complicity, the silence, the apologies, the eagerness to move on that too many powerful actors have exhibited after his killing. We reject the despicable self-interest that is driving too many to trample on values, valor, and justice. By celebrating Jamal's courage, we demand and we denounce not only the actors of his murder, but we denounce as well the coward that failed to act in the aftermath of his killing. And we stand with Jamal against them, as we stand with the people of Lebanon and Iraq, Bahrain and Egypt, who dare dream and who dare act on their dreams and who dare act and face killings. We demand an end to injustice, to hatred, to propaganda, to corruption, and we demand justice. In honoring Jamal's courage, we also celebrate Hatice's courage. Jamal dreamed a new life with his Hatice, his soulmate, his companion, his soon-to-be wife. Together they dared dreaming of a life together. Tonight we also celebrate Hatice, the courage of all those that are left behind and who continue the fight for justice on behalf of those that have been silenced forever. We celebrate the courage of those whose voice and act ensure we do not forget, ensure that we remember, and that we continue to fight for what is right. Thank you very much.